Hello world. I am sorry for not posting in forever. Just been busy with life, Gets complicated and kind of broke my mic, so I can't record videos on the PlayStation at the moment. But this video is a story time about how my mother cussed out my principal. So when I was in 7th grade in middle school, I was in gym class and we were doing health. We were on health week, and my teacher called me up in front of the class, right? She told me to lay down, and I did. And she took a ruler and she hit me on my head. And then coincidentally, my mom was actually picking me up early from school. So I was young, So I come out and I come to my mom. We're walking out of the school and I started crying. My mom was like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "Mom," she's like, "you better tell me before we leave the school because it's about to go down." I'm like, "Mom, my teacher called me up in front of the class, told me to lay down, and hit me in the head." And my mom, she didn't even look at me. She just turned right around. She went into the office and she was like, "I need to talk to the principal." So the principal comes down and everything, and my mom was angry. And my mom was like, "Why is your teacher hitting my kid on the head with a ruler?" And then she's like, "Oh, we'll figure it out." So they talked. We came home. And then my principal was like, called her, and she was like, "Oh, we're going to talk to the teacher, see what actually happened, And my mom was like, "All right." So they hung up. She calls back, and she laughs at my mom. She's like, "Oh, haha, I talked to the teacher. Said she did with the best intentions." And my mom froze. And my mom was like, "You're telling me that your teacher hit my kid on the head with the best intentions? That's what you're saying?" And then the principal's like, "Ha ha ha, yeah," laughing it off. And I have never in my life, even to this day, heard my mom cuss the way she did. My mother cussed my principal out so bad that my grandmother told her to call her back and apologize for how bad my mom did that. And I got transferred out of that class, and for the rest of the school year, that gym teacher would do anything to avoid me or my mother. My mother had the option to take her teaching license away, but she didn't, which kind of would destroy her entire career. But my mom didn't do that to her. My mom was like, "Just transfer my kid out of her class," right? So they did. And then my mother emailed the head of the school board all the way down to make sure that the school board was aware of what had happened. So then the school was like, "Okay, we're gonna have a meeting between us and the principal and the school board." I do not know how that school board meeting went. All I know is that teacher was not teaching for a good 3 months before we saw her again. And then she started avoiding me and my mother. And then every time my principal would see me and my mother at a school event or something, even after I was out of 7th grade, this went into 8th grade, she would always come up to us being like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Being extra nice. Anytime I had a problem after that, anytime anything happened that I had to tell my mom or anything, or my mom would come up to the school to come get me out of school early or something, or I was coming in late or something, and she saw us, she made sure she came up to us and became the nicest person on the earth to my mom. Like, for the remainder of me being in that school. And my mom told them, my mom's like, you need to catch your teachers. Because if you don't, somebody going to jail. Not even a month later after my mom told them that, they had like a teacher get arrested for something that they did to a student. And I'm like, you warned them, Mom. And they don't want to listen. Like, people don't want to listen when they get warned about something. I don't get it. But like, after that, I had no problems with like any of my teachers, any of the school staff. Nothing. Like, they were all terrified of my mother. It was great. Like, the school systems here. One time my mom got so mad she actually came to the school in her pajamas. And like, after that, they made a rule, like statewide rule, that parents were no longer allowed to come to school in their pajamas. My mother is the reason that rule came into existence. And I'm like, Mom, you are iconic. My mother is iconic. Like, it was great. Like, the teacher who hit me, like, after that year, like, she was never to be seen again. Like, I don't know what happened to her. She kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. I guess she stopped teaching after that. But yeah, my mother cussed out my principal, and then emailed the head of the educational system, and had a rule made after her because she wore her pajamas to school once for a meeting. My mom's awesome. But anyways, that's it for now. Bye, guys.